So today I'll be discussing about a very important concept in CSS. Like based on this concept, when you are trying to build some website, this concept will be very useful for you. It is called as CSS Box Model. It is nothing but in previous class I told you about margin, padding, and all kind of stuff, right? Margin and padding. It is the same thing, but we give a name for the like these things like margin and padding and the content that we write in our div. All that together is called as CSS Box Model. So today is class 4, right? Yeah. So when I open this folder in Visual Studio Code, I'll open it. So today we'll be learning about CSS Box Model. Okay, it is nothing but like in the previous class I told you about margin. Margin is like a simple kind of, if you want to add space, add space before your content, or left to the left side of the to the left side of your content, to the right side of your content, or to the bottom of your content, then you can use margin. Like but one thing is that margin is an outer property. It is not related to your content, but the whole like if you write a div, in that you will be writing so many heterogeneous elements, right? So for all those elements combinedly, you will be able to apply margin to like separate your text from the other text. You'll be using margins. The same goes with padding. So as here it is like displayed, margin is the space of separation of one element from another. Like this one element, the element here can be anything, guys. It can be a div, it can be a p tag, it can be an image, any element. It can be any element. You can apply margin to any element, and then you'll be having 4 variations in margin. That is top, bottom, left, or right. If you don't specify whether it is top or bottom or left or right, and if you just write margin is equal to some 5 pixel or 10 pixel, then by default that number of pixels margin will be applied to all the 4 variations. That is like if you say margin is equal to 4 pixel, then that 4 pixel will be applied to margin top, margin bottom, margin left, and margin right also. And the next is padding. Padding is like as it is displayed here, it is a space of separation between the container and the content. Like when you in this box model, you can say that the whole box is a container and you will be having some content in it. Margin is like adding space between 2 containers, whereas padding is adding space between the container and the content in it. So this is the difference between margin and padding. So people get confused here, like they won't be understanding what margin and padding is. So to make you clear, I'll give you some examples. Like I'll demonstrate once again. So yeah, CSS box model. CSS box model consists of things like margin. Like the first is margin. The second is you can give some border, like border kind of thing to your container. And the third thing is padding. And the fourth thing is content. So I'll demonstrate it for you. Next.html. Exclamation mark for boilerplate, and CSS day 4. So let me create 2 divs. Div lorem, this is div1, and this is div2. And now if I open it in live server, it opens like this. It opens like this. This is div1, this is div2. Let me give some class for these two. Like in the previous class, I told you about classes, right? The same thing you have to apply here. When I give some class to these divs, and if I want to write, let me do external styling for this, because still the previous classes we were doing only internal CSS or inline CSS, right? Now let us do some external styling. And one thing we should not forget is that when you are doing external styling, you have to include that CSS file in the HTML file. So here we go, we have included the CSS file using link tag. Am I recording? Yeah. Are you there, guys? Are you listening? Raise your hands. Okay, enough. So, like here we go, we have included our CSS file here. The name is style.css, and here we have also, like in our index.html file, we have given 2 classes, div1 and div2. Let us write this styling for those 2 classes. Because it is a class, we have to use a dot operator, and then we have to start writing the CSS rules. Let us give some border, background color to be green, and for div2, let me give background color as brown. Brown will not be yellow. So here you can see that the divs got colored. Wonderful colors. These 2 colors look amazing. Now let us add some margin to div2. Margin, because we want to separate div2 from div1, like both of them are attached. We want to put some space between div1 and div2. Some of you might get like this doubt. Why don't we place some break tags so that it gets separated? But if you want this div to be here at the top, and if you want that this div to be in the middle, how many BRs will you write, guys? It is not logical, right? You cannot go on writing BR tags like this, BR tags, BR tags, BR tags, BR tags. Even if you write this, your work will be done. But the thing is, when you want to view your website on different devices, like this website here, because it is like your laptop, it is being visible like this. But if it is your if it is your, what do I say? If it is your phone, if it is your mobile, see, it will be visible like this. The length will be reduced, and the width also will be reduced. So, so we cannot say, like, if you add BR tags. So, for suppose your phone, your phone length is equal to some 20 BR tags. Let us say, like, if you add 20 BR tags, your length of your screen will be covered, your phone screen. But in your website, you've given some 23 or 25 BR tags. What happens? There will be an overflow. Your content will not be visible, right? So for that case, that is one problem. And the other problem is it is not logical using BR tags if you want to add space between 2 elements. So for that, we can use margin and also we can use padding also. Yeah. Now let's go back. There is a spelling mistake. Yes. This. Yeah. This is like not practical, not logical. So let us remove the BR tags. Now these two div tags get attached again. Now what we'll do is we will add some space between div1 and div2. We will add space between. So what should we like use? If I use margin, let's see what happens if I use margin. If I use margin, the content, the element is being affected at the top, at the left, at the right, and at the bottom also. Bottom, I think you can't see what is happening at the bottom. So let me give another div here, saying this is div 3, and let me give some class for it. Class is div 3, and this is dot div 3. BG color is some blue. So see here, when I remove this margin, like I'm commenting it, when I remove this margin, all the three divs are getting attached. But if I place this margin and I save the file, see, the div2 is being affected in four variations. The top is being affected, the left is being affected, the right is being affected, and the bottom is also being affected. So this is about margin. If you use only margin, then all the four variations get affected. But if we use only margin top, what happens? Gap comes only between div1 and div2. So this is how you can use margin top, margin left. If I say margin left, then this left thing comes into occurrence. If I say right, margin will be placed at the right side. If I say bottom, div2 will be separated from div3. Div1 and div2 will be separated from div3. See, if like there is another way, like if you want to add space between div1 and div2, you can either add margin bottom to div1 or margin top to div2. But the most like widely used way is to adding margin top to div2. Let me add margin bottom to div1 and let me show you what happens. If I add margin bottom to div1, obviously you'll be getting space between div1 and div2. If I add margin top to div2, again the same thing, you'll be getting space between div1 and div2. If I add margin bottom to div2, what happens is you will be getting space between div2 and div3. If I use margin top to div3, then you'll be getting space between again div2 and div3. The use case is same, adding space between div1 and div2, but you have different ways of satisfying, like fulfilling that use case. So this is all about margin bottom. And if I use padding, like you can also use the universal selector. See here, there is some margin here, right? There is some default margin here, right? Some pixel here, there is some default margin left. Can you see here? I'm like maximizing the screen. See here, you can see that there is some default margin top, some default margin left, some default margin right, and some default margin bottom too. So what you can do to like remove this default thing, you want to give some user defined margin. What can you do? You can use the universal selector and use margin 0, padding 0, and you'll be getting the content throughout your web page. Like there will not be any default margin or padding to your website. Okay, this is one way. And now if you want to add your own like 45 pixel and 45 pixel margin and padding, and what is happening? 45 pixel margin is being added on all four sets, and even the padding is also being applied. Padding in the box. This is a box model, guys. The box model with the margin. Box model is nothing but the combination, the collection of the margin, the border, the padding, and the content. All four properties is called as box model. Okay, so like Even the padding here is being applied to the content in your divs by default. This is how, this is like, if you have some global things to be added, you can say bg color here and get some pink for this, and you'll be getting background color as pink. So if you have some static content, static means if you want some rules to be applied throughout your web page, then they are called as static content or global content. If you have some static content or global content in your web pages, then you can use a universal selector. The star here, the star here in this rule is called as the universal selector. You can use this universal selector, and then you can declare that global or static content that will be reflected on your in your web pages. So this is one way. Like, let me make this, let me remove this margin and padding. Okay, so we have this website here. What are we talking about? Margin. We have talked about margin. We've talked about padding also. Let me put padding here. Padding is 30 pixel. And so here, see here, the weight of the height of the box is being auto adjusted. Like normally when you have this only the normal div without having any margin or padding, what is the height of your div, right? Div, guys, the height of your div is the height of the alphabet, right? Width is, because this is a block level item element, the width will be the whole width of the web page, but the focus here for us is on the height of the div. The height of the div is auto adjusted to the height of the alphabets, right? But here, if you see in the first div, in div 1, what happens is, here the height, how is the height calculated? The height is calculated as the margin top plus padding top plus the height of the element plus margin bottom, like padding bottom plus margin bottom. That is the height. So let me write here. Height of div. That is like how the height is being calculated. Margin top plus border, like border height also we can say. Border height plus padding top plus height of the alphabet. Height of the alphabet, you can like just ignore it, but still height of the alphabet. And padding bottom plus what is again border height, like down border, IGHT plus margin bottom. So these are like, these things have to be considered while calculating the height of the div. So this is the thing, guys. If you want, I'll draw the box model also. So what happens is, this is your div. Oh, this is your div. This is your content. This is your content. And this is your margin. Okay. Okay. Let me do some color thing. This is your box. This is your div, and this is your margin. Oh, this is your margin. So like the extra space here is padding. Color. So this is the padding, and this is also the padding. This is the margin. So if you want to find the height of the box, the container, then what you have to do is you have to consider margin top, you have to consider the border height, you have to consider the padding top, the height of the content, the height of the like the padding bottom, height of the border, and then the margin bottom. So all these things have to be taken care if you want to like calculate, if you want to calculate your height of the element, height of the div. So this one I can like say that height of the content instead of height of the element. We have to say height of the content. So this is like how the things work in margin and padding. After that, like I've told you that we'll do some crazy thing today. We'll do a website, a basic website. Let's say it is about your portfolio. Um, home.html. So let me remove this. Take all the unwanted things. Don't say. We have still 12 minutes of time. Let's complete this today. So in home.html, normally, like if you want to um, design your portfolio, the main things would be, first thing is like home. Oh, easy. It's home. After that, you'll have your about section. After that, you'll be having your resume section. You'll be having your achievements section, and certifications, applications, and contact page. So all these things you'll be having. Home is nothing but you will put some logo or kind of stuff. If you click on that logo, I mean the home page should be like displayed. Or else you can say it as home also. Home. Let's make this structure today. This is all about like, so let's start it. Firstly, I want to create a boilerplate. After that, in the title, let me set it to portfolio, and let me open it in live server. Yes, and let me create a CSS file. New folder, styles. In this CSS file, let me create style.css. And let me include the style.css page in my home.html. Now what you have to do is you have to give a path, relative path to the style.css. You here one thing you have to see carefully is that you have two style.css files, but the thing is you have your CSS file in styles folder. So you have to use the relative path like this. And then the main style.css. And it is done. Let me see, let me put some background color and check if it is being visible or not. Like I'll be using a universal selector. Let the background color be black. Yeah, it is working. The path works. The path is working. So let me go to home.html page. We got this, and then let me give it some gray kind of lighter. Okay, now it looks good. After that, what you have to do is like you should let me make the structure now. Let me give some. I will be using a div, giving a header thing because a nav bar thing. You want to like give a nav bar here. Navbar is nothing but, if you see in websites like Amazon, Amazon would be complex. Flipkart, Navbar is nothing but this thing. This blue color thing is there, right? This is the navbar. It's simply used for navigation. You can say that this below thing is also a navbar, but the main thing is this: login, become a seller, more card. Or this thing is a part of navbar. It is used basically for navigating through different pages. So this is about navbar. So let's create our own navbar. I'm giving it a class because we will be doing some styling for this navbar. Because there are a list of items to be displayed here about resume, achievements, certifications, contact, and all kind of things. Let me use a list, an ordered list, and in that I have to put an a tag. Home.html. This is like this, the same. Home.html. In this, I have to place home, and then in the next li, I have to keep. Next is a resume, right? Resume.html. Resume, and then in the next li, I have to place achievements. Achievements.html. Achievements. So if you all want to prepare your portfolios, you can just do it along with me. Li, a tag, and then there is something called as certifications. Certifications.html. Their certificates. This is a basic portfolio, guys. You can like do some improvisations to it. You can make your own design, and you can make your portfolios. That's all okay. But like I'm doing this basic thing to like use all the concepts that we have learned till now. Contact.html. And one advice I want to give you is that in your like file structure that you're going to use for your HTML, making a website or kind of things, you make a separate folder for styles. For CSS, for JS, you prepare a separate folder, and for other pages, other HTML pages, you create another folder. Like all your resume.html, like in this resume.html, all these other files, I recommend you to put them in a separate folder, achievements.html, and cert, oh, and certificates.html, contact.html. So all these kind of things are present in others folder. So what modification should I do? The modification I have to do is that here, while writing the links here, what I did is I did not include the correct path. For that, what I have to do is I have to get the relative path, which is dot slash style slash what is this, resume styles, not styles, it is others slash resume.html, and this is the same. Let me copy paste it. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Now it is all done. Let me add some text for these files. If to make me like to have a confirmation that these files are being accessed. This is achievements, and this is achievements page. Let me copy paste this. Control C. And then for the remaining pages also, let me write the same content. Certificates this contact, sorry, contact, Control C, Control V. I want you to use the shortcuts thoroughly so that your coding would be very fast. So this is the certification page, certificates, and let me copy this text, Control C, and paste it over here. Control, yeah, I think all these things are completed now. Control A, Control C in the gmail.html. Let me copy paste this code, and then let's change this to resume. Resume. I think that's over. Yeah. Where is this home.html? Yes. Now let me do the navigation thing. If I say home, the same page is being opened. Home, portfolio, home.html is the same file. So if I say resume, the resume page is being displayed. If I say achievements, the saying cannot get achievements. Why is it so? Because here I gave the file name wrong. So I have to modify it. It is achievements. Achieve. Is it right? Achievements.html. Now let us see. Let us give request. We got this. And after that, certificates, when we are not getting certificates. But here I gave it as certifications. Certificates. Yes. After that, let me see certificates if it is working. It's not working. Why is it so? Again, this certificates only, certificates.html. Not get. Let me refresh this. Yeah, this is working. And then the contact page is also working. Yes, it is working. Now what you have to do, what you can do is this underlining, the blue color text and all these things are not right, not nice, right? So you can have this, you have a property saying that a, if you want, because all of these things are the content of a tag, anchor tag, these are links. So you can say text decoration as none. Let me see what happens. So what happened here, the underlines has been gone, they disappeared. Now what can we do to list style is none? Now this is not working. So you have another way to remove the dots over here. Like how to remove, like can anyone guess that CSS rule to remove the dots in list? Can anyone guess? It is actually list style. But where should I apply that list style? Should I apply it in A or should I apply it in li tag? Yes, I have to apply it in list in li tag as none. If I say it as none, see what happens here. The stars, the bullet things were gone. And if I say home appears. If I say resume appears. If I say achievements appear. If I say certificates come. Contact page opens if I click on contact. So these are links, but like if you want to like change the colors, then you can say color in link tag as some black. Yeah, that's black. After that, if you want to increase the font size, font weight, let's say that's 20 pixel. If I say, let's see what happens, nothing is happening. font weight is 100 is happening. I think so. Let's say font size as 20 pixel, then you can see that the size got increased. If you want to increase the intensity, like you can make it bold or you can make it um, font style. You can say font style, and you have this italic, you have bold, you have normal, you have inherit, you have all these properties. You just like experiment with all those things. Now, for now, like this is the basic HTML page. Let me remove this list style also. Yeah, this is the nav part. Now, in the next class, we will be discussing. Next class, this is not completed, right? Not completed. Not done. So in the next class, maybe tomorrow or like some other day, what we will discuss is we will discuss about an interesting topic called as flex. It will be very useful for you while you are like building your websites. Flex is a very important concept. So in the next class, we will be completely looking into what flex is, and we'll complete our portfolio. Okay. So the task I want you people to do is complete your home page. Like add some text in that home page, make your portfolio. Okay. Thanks for the class. Okay. Do I need to leave? Okay, I'll take just 2 minutes. I'll tell the task what they have to do. Like what you have to do is there are many pages, right? Fill your HTML pages. Like write some bio of yours in home page, in about page. Add some pictures in home page. After that, give some write some of your achievements. Use tables or use normal p tags and div tags. Make like write your achievements and your certifications. Like fill those pages. Okay, so that is your task. Create a GitHub link, push your code into GitHub, and I'll send a Google form. Give me your GitHub links. That's enough. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Okay then. Have a nice day. You can leave the class.